We're talking about the inner journey today as an event, 3-day event that helps us to get into conversations which are deeper in a faster way and create meaningful change with and for people. And we can address that from very different perspectives because the tools that these events are built on are used in a wide variety of different professions. It's always people professions, but that can be on the clinical side, on the coaching side, as well as in individual and in group cases. What's the main problem here? The main problem is that in our work, we want to help people to change something that's in their power. And to get there, we always have to work below the surface. The problem is that most people are not used to that. And so accessing whatever we want to have below the surface becomes the main challenge. Helping others to open up so that they can find the vocabulary that they want to talk about, be that emotions, needs, values, strengths, inner parts, if we work into that direction. Because only if we help them explore these deeper realms can we effectively help them to manage the transformation or the change that they are undergoing. The thing is, if we don't manage to address these topics underneath in a efficient way, we might have clients who are stuck in the same patterns for a long time. If I'm working with teams in leadership development, for instance, I have teams that don't talk about the real issue at hand. And if I'm getting to the breakthroughs that I want, it might not be the shortest way because it's always a question if people can verbalize what they actually want to say and have the courage to do that. And so not being able to help our clients, our teams, the leaders that we help get to the bottom of things actually costs quite some time, trust, momentum, and results because we could have been there earlier. And then, as I said, the real change actually happens below the surface. And what this event is really about is helping you access what's below the surface in a safe, structured, and transformative way. And in this event, that happens in the context of 3 different theories, and that is on the topic of emotions, and in that context of also needs and nonviolent communication, working with images, where pictures touch us on a level that is deeper than we understand, and so we can uncover things that we're not conscious of ourselves. And then on the topic of strengths on the 3rd day, because only if we are truly building on our strengths can we build a life or help our clients build a life that is truly fulfilling. In the 3 days, we're using a wide variety of different tools. We have the emotions compass and needs compass, as well as the emotion cards and need cards, because those help clients to really find the words that they need. If I'm working with C-level executives, that's a way to help them talk about emotions, because they don't have to talk about the emotions. They can talk about a card that they're holding in their hand. Similarly, if I'm working clinically, I have the same issue, people not being able to describe how they feel, and I can just flip through the card set and find the right thing, or use the emotions compass and say, hi, that's a connected thought. Okay, apparently I'm angry, and I can infer from my thoughts what I'm actually feeling once I learn to make these connections. On day 2, we work with images. These are images that are associatable with pleasant as well as unpleasant emotions. We make the connection from images touching us on a deeper level, connecting on a bodily level, using our body to select images. And on the 3rd day, we're working with first the strengths discovery, so our strength assessment tool. We collect feedback from people in our lives, rate ourselves, and others can also rate us on the same scale. And we get a report that we are debriefing and learn to debrief with others as a, temporary assessment of that moment, of course. And then we also work with the stronger you cards and the strength compass to help people find out what their strengths are and then operationalize this with behaviors in their lives and building a bigger vision. To give you on a deeper level what we do on the 1st day, we are working with nonviolent communication as a base theory of the 4 steps. I'll have an introduction there and see how we can use the tools in these different steps. We're talking about the automatic reactions that we have and how we can help clients to build a structure, identifying emotions and our automatic patterns that are often connected to it, right? Letting go of the situation, creating new patterns. And all of that really helps the client in the end to self-express in an easier way, in a better way that helps them in their conversations. On the second day, we look at the images and what they can represent. We look into a range of different theories behind this and how this can work, starting from narrative psychology, ending with projective methods. And really, I think this is one of the key aspects of the whole training, because most of us are not trained working with images effectively and using them to uncover not only emotions, but beliefs or any other thing that you would like to, by offering the right selection of images. And of course, we'll discuss what that actually means. What is the right selection? What is the right offer? How do I prompt the person to get to that deeper level? And then on the third day, we'll do some fun exercises, sorting strength cards, identifying strengths, listening how it sounds like if people talk about their strengths and as compared to their weaknesses. And then we'll work with the categorization of strengths that includes realized strengths, so things we're already good at, unrealized strengths that we can still build on, learned behaviors, which are things which are not actually strengths, but we were taught to be good at this in teaching and learning environments that we participated in. And then we have weaknesses, which are things that are basically not the things you should do because they drain your energy, they don't fulfill you, you don't do them often, and they're really, draining. Who is that event built for? It's built for people who work with other people. That can be in one-to-one interactions as counselors, as coaches, or for people who work with groups as facilitators, as trainers, as consultants, leadership developers, you name it. And lastly, one group which is not on here is actually for leaders in the role of a coach. If you want to have a strong foundation and also a tools-based foundation, working and developing other people, then that's very effective. And we actually had 6 leaders in our last iteration of the event. Yeah. Why is that different from other things that you could do? That is because you not only learn about tools and methods, but it's really experiential. We're doing what we have in the nice workbook here. Oh, some post-its on it. In the nice workbook, what we have here. And you get to experience them. And then you get to practice it yourself. And so we always have that duality between coach, coachee, trainer, participant, looking at things from the teacher and from the learner side, from the instructor and the coachee side. And with that, you're not leaving with ideas, but with actual skills and methods and structures you can use in your own real life. And also on the event, we make the inference to your real life, because whatever we do on the event is obviously a setup scenario, right? And the question is always, how does that translate to my real practice? And we'll have these conversations with other professionals on the event. I already said it's all based on experiential learning, called learning cycle and everything, which means we're using breakout groups, peer coaching, actually lots of peer coaching because it's a coaching education. We use meta moments, looking at the current group situation from the outside, gallery walk, strength spotting, lots of debriefing of experiences, of course, and individual reflection of our own situation, of our own feelings, of our own conflicts, using those as crystallizations to really learn the new methods. Yeah, now you might ask yourself, why are we, metaFox, the right people to say anything about this? Over the last 8 years, we have been developing people all around the world. We have sold over 100,000 copies of different coaching tools, which are loved all over the world. And we started ourselves as coaches and over time developed a team, built online tools, and today want to bring our own experiences to the world through the academy, because we are using our tools ourselves heavily online and on site. And that is then what the event is really about, learning how to get 10x the value from a tool Here's some images from the event in Singapore last year. That was really fun. We had 18 participants, mostly psychologists there, but also a teacher, an artist, a retreat leader who's doing retreats in Vietnam. That was very fascinating. Coaches, of course. And we had really in-depth conversations around their professional journey and how they can impact their clients. Then, contrasting to that, we had the event in London just 2 weeks ago. Here you can see also the participants quite happy after the 3-day event. We always make a group photo with the metaFox. And it was 6 leaders, and then we had different coaches, trainers, one entrepreneur, so one who's running an organization, so people from different walks of life who really want to develop themselves and their personal skills, or interpersonal skills, actually.